Hey everybody, it's Kim. I'm here to do a video on what's called a Scrappin purse. This is the final project here, and I wanted to show you this one because of the pictures. We're going to just do paper for now, but I wanted you to see how it looks with the pictures. So if you took like a whole picture and then half a picture on the two corners and a whole picture, that's how it would look. We're just going to use paper just to show you the idea of how to do it. And then when it closes up, it looks like a little purse. And it just, once you've folded it, and a lot of times it folds up pretty easy, and it ends up looking like this. You put a little strap on there. Alright, so we're going to show you how to do that, all the cuts and measurements and all that good stuff. So I have paper cut out here already, but I'm going to tell you all the measurements and we're going to go over it. So I just wanted to show you how it looks before I dump it all off and start with the 12 by 12 piece of cardstock here. Okay, so you're going to take a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. You're going to score it at 4 inches with your score pal or whatever, however you like to score. So 4 inches and 8 inches. And then you're going to turn it 90 degrees and score it again 4 inches and 8 inches. So you end up with 3 4-inch blocks, 3 rows of 3. Okay. Now on the corner pieces, each of the 4 corner pieces, you're going to score from the corner edge right down here to the first fold right up here. Okay, that I've not done yet, so we're going to do that here. So get a good solid score line there on all 4 corners, the corner to the corner. And the last one, the corner, yeah, it's a corner. Okay, so those are those boxes. The middle box doesn't get any folds. The 2 middle boxes, does that make sense? The 2 outside middle boxes, is that better? You're going to, they're 4 inches, so you're going to measure in 2 inches from this line to this line is 4 inches. You're going to measure in 2 inches and take a pencil and make a little mark. I'll do the other side too while I'm here. So 2 inches, make a little mark. You can erase that later if you want. Alright, so now from that mark, you're going to score in from the mark to the corner, this corner here on the box. So you're going to mark from your mark in, and from your mark in. So from your mark into the corner, and your mark into the corner. Score those really good. Here's one that I drew on, so you can kind of see what it should look like. Let me zoom out so you can see that. Oops, sorry about that. Oops, wrong way. Oops, oops, oops. So you have your ones up here at the top, and then these ones go from the 2-inch mark in, so you can see that a little better because I drew on it. Okay, so that was me practicing. Okay, so you're gonna fold all your score lines and fold them really good. Go ahead and fold them back and forth just to get that paper fiber really broken down so that it will fold where you want it to fold when the time comes, that there's not resistance going on. So really fold those over and over, really, really good. Work with that paper. Get those fibers really, really malleable, I guess is the word we're looking for. Okay, so now we're also going to fold. This is a little bit tricky Let me zoom back out here. Because you're only going to fold, you don't want any folds across this middle piece. So you're just going to have to kind of eyeball your fold and fold it in. Okay? And you're just going to have to really crease it down so you can get it to where you can use your bone folder here in a minute. You're going to do all of those corners. So just into the middle box. Don't fold the middle box. So all 4 corners. It's really pretty easy once you've done a couple of them. When I first saw it, I'm like, how in the world does that work? But once you put a couple of them together, it's pretty easy. So now this middle fold, same thing. You're just going to fold that middle box just into the middle because you don't want any folds in that middle box. That's the bottom of your purse. Okay? I hope this is making sense. It will once you start doing it. It actually makes sense. So it's just a lot of folds and stuff. Okay? So there's your all folded up piece. Okay? So eventually when you go to fold it up, once you've folded it in a few times, it will fold nicely. You just have to work with it. So these ones, you're going to want these going in. That's why if you really work with the paper to get it to go where you want it to go, when you want it to go there, it works really good. So, alright. So, I may turn off the camera here for a minute and just work with these folds a little bit. Because that's what you're going to have to do, is just work with your folds. Just get your bone folder in there. And score things down. So, I'm going to do that off camera for a minute so I don't bore you guys to death. I'll be right back. Played with this a little bit and folded it and got it really so it bends easily. So, you're going to want all of the diagonal lines, each diagonal line needs to be folded on the up. So when your paper's laying down, they'll need to be folding up in. So that when you fold it all up, they all come together and you get your purse just like that. Okay? So let's put our papers together. So you can do it however you want. What I did was I cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 7. You can cover them all in paper if you want, or you can leave some blank. I'm leaving a couple of them blank to stamp on, but you can do it however that you want to do it. So when you cut your diagonals, I'll show you how to do that because that's probably the most confusing part. So cut your paper. Each of these squares are 4 by 4, so cut your papers at 3 1/4 or 3 7/8. You know, you just want a little bit of gap so they're not getting in the way of your folds, because then it just messes it up. So I'm using the Belle Vie paper, I think it's called, from Close to My Heart, and I'm using the dark black one with the white colored roses on it. And then the tan, it looks like it's just tan on the camera, but it's got some little designs in there. I don't know what you would call them, but there's some designs. On the other side is the mauve with pink writing on it. So that one I don't think I cut at 3 1/4. I think I cut that at 4 by 4, so I might have to go fix that one. I'm trying to remember how I had these all laid out. Because I had them laid out. And I like it so it's every other, and then not a color, the same color next to each other. So I had mine like sorry, I can't get a grip on those. That one, and then I had, gotta think about this. Because of course it's late and I've been getting stuff done today, so I'm tired. What else is new, right? Crazy, crazy all day long. One more. Okay, So that's how I laid mine out. You could leave, or you could put like solid colors and stamp on them, or however you like it, however it looks good. Just cut out however many pieces you're going to cover. I recommend you cut them a little smaller than the 4x4, because as you can see, this one's, I'm going to trim that down because it's going to be right on my folds. It's going to mess with things. And these are not right on the folds. So I'm going to cut that down by just a teensy bit right here. I'm just going to cut it down to 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, I think. That's what I did the other ones at. So 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So sorry about that glare. Alright, so there's all those. So what you're going to do to cut the diagonals is easy enough. You're just going to take your, I'm not going to cut this because I don't want to cut it. You're going to take your square and you're just going to put it on the track of whatever cutting tool that you're using. You're going to put a corner, that glare is kind of bad, sorry. You're going to put a corner in each track and then just cut it, and that'll give you the 2 halves. To cut these middle ones, you're going to, I gotta think about this. You're going to want to put them at the 2-inch mark on your cutter, with one corner on the 2-inch mark and the other corner in your track. Is that right? Yeah. And then you're going to cut, and that'll give you, if you wanted this piece here, and if you do the opposite on the 2-inch with the other corner in your track, that's not going to work, it's not right. That second part, disregard. So I got to remember how I did this. It took me a while to figure this out. And I might have to turn it off for a minute and think about it, because I figured this out like 2 days ago. So I'll be right back, because I'm actually going to have to cut a piece to remember how I did this. So I'm back. Sorry about that. It's been about 3 or 4 days since I worked this project, so I had to think about it. And I cut things a little bit smaller than when I originally tried it. All my squares were 4x4, and now they're 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So that changed things a little bit. So I had to figure that out. So I apologize. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece. I'm using green because I don't want to ruin another piece of my close to my heart paper that I like. So anyway, you're going to take one corner and you're going to put it at 3 and 3/8. So just past the 3 1/4, between the 3 1/4 and the 3 1/2 mark on your cutter, okay? And then the other corner down here you're going to put in your cutting track. So it's going to be like that, okay? And you're going to cut, and then you're going to take your top corner that you just cut. Let me think for a minute again, I'm sorry. You're going to turn that so that top corner stays on the track, and then this corner that you had over here comes down on the track too, okay? Just going to line both of those up. Sorry, in your cutting track, corners to corners, and cut that, okay? Then you have your pieces for those funky cuts right there, okay? Hope that makes sense. It does now that I've done it. So, okay, so like I said, you can put these down however you like. You can stamp, you know, whatever you want to do. This is just the folds. I'll be right back, I think. I'm back again. Sorry about that. That was my work calling, so I just had to answer a question for them really quick. So there's what everything looks like if you cut it out this way. Like I said, you can cut, instead of paper, you can cut pictures to go there, or you could cut a mat and then cut your pictures to go there. However that you want to do it. So I'm going to show you how to do the flap for the outside of the purse, and then we'll put the outside of the purse on and we'll be done with what I'm going to show you anyway. Okay, so for the flap part of the purse, you're going to cut a piece of cardstock at 4 inches by 6 inches, and you're going to score it at 2 inches, so that gives you a little flap over. Okay, And then I also cut another 4, actually this is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, so I get a little bit of border around it. And then I cut another little piece for the other part of the tag, or the flat part, at, let's see, this would be 3 1/4 by 1 3/4, right? No. Let me think for a minute. 3 3/4 by 1 3/4, so it's just a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch smaller all the way around again. Then I rounded the corners on these 2 edges here on both pieces. Then we're going to take our little hole punch, which is, right here's one, and we're going to take, I'm going to glue that down first so that I can punch through both pieces at the same time. Sorry, I think this is the first time I've done this big of a project, so I hope this isn't like a 2-hour video, because I don't think YouTube will let me upload it anyway, so hopefully I'll get to upload it all in one shot. Okay, and then we'll do 2 quick pull punches here. I think I'm just going to go halfway in from what my hole punch will let me. I'll try to get it kind of even here. Okay, then I had a piece of ribbon. Here it is. It's kind of long, and we're just going to thread it through these holes. However you want to do this. I'm going to do it this way. You can make it so the tie is on the inside, or however you want to do it. So just going to get that nice and flat on there, and then going to tie this in a little knot at the top, but you could also do it, you know, with the knot on the opposite side. Okay, so there's your little flap. So now I'm going to dump this all off again. Pretend those are all adhered down, and I'm also going to put a piece on this part of my flap too, so it's all matching. I hope this is still recording. My battery died, so I have it plugged in to the wall, so that's why it's kind of crooked, because the cord wants to pull it down. So, and you can just dress the edges of all this or whatever you want to do to make it your own. Alright, so now your flap you're going to want to be on either end of this big piece here. So I'm going to put it on this end here. So you're just going to tape or glue down, put glue on the big part of this flap of the purse, because you don't want the other part stuck down. I'm going to put that right up there even as you can get it. And there's your flap. Okay, and then you can take, let's close it up so we can put our little closure dots on there. So now you're just going to fold it all up like so. And I think I'll put something here too I think I'll put, I don't know what color I'll put right there, but I'm going to put something right there. So I'm not going to put my glue dot, my little closure thing on there, but when you put that on, you can get these wherever, but Close to My Heart has them. They're little closure, little Velcro things. Just put one on one side, and then take your sticky off and close it down so that you get it to be where you want it to be. I hope that makes sense. So anyway, there's your purse. I'm not going to go into any more detail. I'm going to let you guys make it your own with that. I just want to show you the cuts and the folds and all that kind of stuff. So I hope that that makes sense. I thought it was really cute, especially if you have a granddaughter. I don't. I only have sons. I don't have any daughters. So someday I'll have a daughter-in-law, and maybe someday I'll have a granddaughter, and I can make these fun little things for them. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have fun making that. Bye-bye.